morning.
Morning.
As Jill said, this is my first Sunday talk. I've been up here for meditations, announcements, and even done short testimonials, but I've never done a Sunday talk. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Snay, although no one's here new, but you all know me. I have worn many hats over the years at UCCM, as well as in my work and personal life. I am currently serving as UCCM's board president and bookstore manager. I am a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a fiance, a scientist. I'm also a breast cancer survivor, and most importantly, a healthy and whole child of God. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how, along with the love and support of my family and friends, the doctors and nurses at UMass, I used my toolbox of truth principles to help me overcome my cancer diagnosis. My toolbox has come from many different ways: an inner knowing, Sunday talks, reading uplifting books, and taking unity classes such as the Quest and other SEE classes. If you live a God-centered life, you can overcome anything with His help. My diagnosis was not a complete surprise to me, as both my mother and grandmother both had cancer at a young age, and they both made their transition before I was 13. I had been tested regularly since the age of 24 and even followed by a high-risk clinic for many years. In 2008, I was offered genetic testing, and I decided not to go through with it, not because I wanted to stick my head in the sand and ignore the issue. It's because of the power of the spoken word. If I tested positive for the gene, there was no guarantee that I would or would not get sick. So I did not want to dwell on the knowledge if I was positive or negative, not at the age of 35. 2 years later, at the age of 37, my doctors thought I was out of the woods, as they say. So I was released from the high-risk clinic, and at that point I was screened either every 6 months or yearly as they recommended. After my diagnosis, I was later tested for the gene, and I am positive for the BRCA gene. I never thought, what if? I used it as a tool to decide my treatment, not my fate. In one of the chapters in the Quest, we learn that heaven and hell are not places, but states of mind, and how we perceive things. The kingdom of heaven is within us now. Let me tell you that my journey was not a piece of cake, but it would have been a hell of a lot worse if I didn't have my truth principles. We learn in Unity that there are no coincidences. Well, in December 2010, I was taking Marianne Morrissey's Prosperity Plus class with Reverend BJ. Those of us that have taken Reverend BJ's prosperity classes know that prosperity is not just about money and material objects. What else is it about?
Yeah. Relationships, a job that you love.
Yes, that's right. It's about health, a job we love, finding the right partner in life. We've also found that when we're studying things, Spirit gives us just right what we need to work on. Show of hands, how many of you were in that class with me? In one of the earlier lessons, Mary talked about when she was young. She had a problem with one of her kidneys, and someone in the hospital had asked her if she had ever thought about if they took that bad part of her kidney or the bad kidney out, would she see herself healthy and whole? I got my diagnosis on a Friday, and earlier in the week I was on the road for work, and I brought my CD player and CDs to listen to in my hotel room. Coincidence? I think not. From the moment I found out, I pictured the tumor shrinking and being removed. I knew that God would take care of me, and I would be fine. I didn't tell a lot of people. Not that I was hiding it, but I had a very positive outlook, and I didn't want people feeling sorry for me or worrying over me. Those who did know were able to keep the high watch for me and see me as I saw myself, healthy and whole. For the most part, I went about my day-to-day activities. I still went to church, I went to book club, and I found to try to keep myself as busy as possible and active in my normal life. Brian, my fiance, started a web page for me. That way I could update my family and friends and share pictures with very little effort for myself. And people were able to leave me positive messages on there for me to read throughout my journey. When that was over, I did print it all out, and I'm going to use it to make a scrapbook someday about my journey. Knowing and believing in principles of prosperity also came into play. When I was going through my surgeries and treatments, I was on medical disability for 7 months and I could not work as I had an active job. I knew that I would be back to work and the money or gifts would come and show up at the right and perfect time. I had enough money for food on the table, for a roof over my head, for gas for the truck, and for my medicine. I was gifted out with family and friends for cooking, cleaning, rides to the doctor, insurance payments, property taxes, prayer shawls. I was even gifted a washing machine. Visitors came to help me pass the time when I was at chemo and recovering from my surgeries. We need to be grateful every day for everything in our lives, accepting our good now as part of our prosperity and giving thanks before the blessings manifest in our life. We've learned that blessings come in many ways. In August 2011, I got engaged to the love of my life, and in November 2011, my family gave me a 40th birthday and celebration of life party. Some of you were even there. At the party, I had little journal boxes, because I scrapbook, for people to leave me positive notes so I could also add that to my scrapbook when I get around to doing it. From Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Myrtle Fillmore, the mother of Unity, was a tremendous healer. She published a little booklet, How I Found Health. I even have it in the bookstore. It's just a few pages, and I read it daily. It talked about how she talked to her cells and organs and healed herself after being sick most of her life. In the back, there is a little poem called Health by Grendel Tilsler. Think health, your health as healthy, see. For as you think within your heart, so you will be. Talk health. Speak the words of truth and praise, and know that wisdom's tongue is life and length and days. Act health. Let manner, mood, and mind show purpose, poise, and power in a high degree combined. Build health by health in word and deed. Look high, have faith, endure, persist, and you'll succeed. I actually still use this today because I like to write it in the back of get well cards that I send to my family and friends. In addition to reading this daily, the first thing I would say in the morning, the last thing I would say before I would go to bed, and several times in between, was to affirm that I was a healthy and whole child of God. When I said this, I had a sense of knowing and a sense of peace. As we've been learning this year, our Christ consciousness and the 12 powers are divine ideas within us, and we don't need formal training to activate them. We activate them as we need them.